Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is BMT coming at you again. I told y'all I'm just going in a different direction. I'm just traveling in a different sphere in my life, especially when it comes to stuff I want to talk about, things I want to showcase in imagery. It's just like a good purge of knowing what best fits you. And I definitely want to talk about this one. I refuse to let it slip by. Everybody wants to always say that everybody likes to talk on, the negativities or things that we don't have or things that we do that we don't get. And this is crazy. I refuse to overlook this one. Um, this one has this one is done right. This one is done very well. Um, and what is that? That is Yusuke. Wow, this dude call me now. Yeah. So I wanted to promote. I wanted to promote Yusuke, and I'm going to stay on. There we go. I just had to drop the link for him. So I wanted to promote Yasuke, and actually talk about that. And I wanted to look at the layers of how, just for the first episode, literally it is Yusuke. It was created in 2001. It is TVMA. It is season one of it. I'm not gonna lie. If they're selling it on Google Play or Apple, I'm gonna buy it. If they're selling it, I am going to purchase it. I'm gonna purchase it. It's up to nine episodes. No, six. Excuse me. It's at six episodes. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. That's just about the amount for like a Castlevania. Like a Castlevania. I think Castlevania probably goes to 10. Castlevania might hit 10. But it has the same architect of artwork and style like this. You know. It has the same artwork. So the cast, if you don't know, the cast is very good. The person who is playing Yusuke is Lateef Stanford. He's playing Yusuke. And he does a good job. He does a really good job. Um, he has a very interesting grasp of doing this doing this style. Pretty much, and I like it how he talks about this. I am going to definitely go more into the layer of the background of this game, probably later on. But I definitely did enjoy how this personification. I did see some negativity, a tiny bit sparkles, like a little dash of burnt negativity. And that was pretty much over one, why are they doing cultural appropriation or forcing this upon us? And I'm like, whoa, 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 chill out. He is not the first black anime samurai ever. He is not, I repeat, he is not the first black anime samurai ever. So if anybody's coming to you saying this guy is the first black anime samurai, I posted it in my post feed. You can actually go look up Samurai 7. That is correct. Go look up Samurai 7. You really want to go see an like when people are coming at this right here saying that there's technology and magic and all that stuff, I'm like, hold the boat. Wait, this is not even this is not even a normal. Like, shout out to the original Samurai 7 classic film. It's a classic old film made in I think the 70s or the 60s about seven samurai who were protecting a village while only getting paid rice. And the lead samurai was named Kanbei. But see, when they made Samurai 7, that was a black samurai protecting. It was a black samurai, and then they had another guy, a guy circus. He was a circus performer that had crazy, um, reaction speed. He was another. So they had two black samurais in that one. So it's not unheard of for there to be black characters in anime, especially samurai. This is not the first time this has been done. It's just that it's being re-implemented and done over. And so this would actually be Netflix original series of samurai, and I can honestly say it's pretty dope. It's actually really cool. It's really refreshing to see that. Um, I'm a little bit upset that there aren't more people, especially. Well, I can understand in this space. That's why I kind of hate being stuck in this space. I'm probably looking at yo man like watch this channel and just going off to do other things because honestly, when it comes to talking about positive imagery, these dudes don't care. People like some people don't care, and I know people say, "Well, don't worry about them." Well, don't worry about what I'm talking about, man. So what I want to say is that literally you have it where just the first entry is going over that there was a great war, and it was showing Yusuke serving his lord Nobunaga. Now Nobunaga, depending on what timeline and what time frequency, sometimes in video games they got him as a bad guy. Other times they got him as some dude with a shotgun and a sword. I mean, you ever play the Dynasty Warrior games? Man, that guy is bad and OP and slaughtering off thousands of people. But this time, he's more progressive. He's more forward thinking. They had it where, spoiler alert, like he's willing to hire a woman as in leadership in the military. Um, Shout out to Nobunaga for that. He's also having minorities like a black samurai, and it's interesting how the Japanese perceived Yusuke. First off, one of his driving force in the series that he repeats quite often is that one of the driving force that he repeats is that um, he talks a lot about protecting children. He's very fundamental and very profound about protecting children. He says it's everybody's job in the village to protect a child. It is every he said where I'm from, it's everybody's job. And when he says that, the people in Japan, they look at him differently. They look at him differently because they're like, huh, that's a very honorable code to have, buddy. Now, as you can already see, they do some timeline skips from 1979. They do try to put in timeline skips. In this series, you'll see stuff like mechanized robots and stuff, and magic and different other stuff, and it's very interesting. What I'm saying, I definitely dig the music. I definitely dig the music. I probably will be looking more into the soundtrack. I will definitely be looking more into the soundtrack for the fact that the soundtrack has a new Jabez. It has a new Jabez type of jazzy feel with the hip hop spice to it, and I like that a lot because it's not where it's like they're not playing like the RZA or Wu Tang in the background, and they're not doing all the rap songs. Like don't get me wrong, like the boom. Shout out to the Boondocks. I do enjoy the Boondocks, and some people. Shout out to my boy Clever Kev. Um, when he was talking about the Palms, when he brought up the Palms of the of black people and how the palm, he said he didn't like it. He said it reminded him of Sambo. We seen the palms and how they show a black person, but the palm will be all light and everything, and it'll look like no. I mean, honestly, I get why. Listen, y'all, like y'all thinking that that's weird, but if you're dark skinned, your palms are gonna be a certain tan. Your palms are gonna be a certain tan. You know what I'm saying? This anime right now in USA is ranked 9 in USA Today. It's ranked 9. It's doing very, very well. It's being received very well. Um, it's actually coming up pretty. It's actually coming up pretty nicely. Um, it's number 9. I mean, I would feel it would get higher. But it's right now they're trying to get a feel for it. I mean, it's like you would have to think between that, it having to have to outbeat Castlevania. Like, good luck with that one. And Castlevania's about to drop season 4, so I don't know how they're going to do that. But however, when it comes to this one, the art, the artwork is definitely that of, like I said, it's similar to Castlevania, um, where you're gonna get that nice feel of of blood and gore. Um, you definitely see it where he has a lot of regrets. Okay, you're backstage. Okay, so yeah, right now we're covering the first episode of the anime, and uh Yusuke. Um, and I think Kevin's here. He just on mute. But if y'all do like this anime, and I gotta tell y'all right now, like literally, I'm getting Samurai 7 vibes. That's what I get when I watch this. I get the vibe. Like I felt like they were watching Samurai 7, and they're like, "Huh? I wonder, can we do that where we get mechanized Gundams and magic and all that stuff put in here?" And you know what? Yeah, yeah, black people with samurai swords and mechanized Gundams, they go good. They go good together. They really do. I cannot find a better way of how to not do that. Like honestly, that's what I'm saying. Like, listen, I don't. I know somehow like, well, it's not historically accurate, dude. It's an anime. Chill, chill, chill.
Now, see, I get what you're
Y'all can go
saying.
watch y'all boring National Geographic. I'm pretty sure they have it out there. But no, I like it. Like I like this because now this puts a lot of stuff. What's going on, Kev?
Nothing much. I was
You're low. You're
on a,
very low.
I'm not nothing much. I'm working on a couple of different reviews actually, but you caught me in the middle of watching something else. But yeah, I get the. It's not the first time they've melded like samurai and mechs in the same universe. Like you said, you got Samurai 7. Um, you've got different things like even Final Fantasy kind of melds. Sci-fi technology and fantasy work well together. So you kind of see that a lot. But I mean, and it works for this. I mean, I don't know if you watched Batman Ninja.
Yeah. Okay, man. That's totally.
It's the same premise though. Like it's the same animation studio, the same animation art style where they meld, that type of thing. I think for me it's fine. It's not bad. It's a stylistic choice that maybe I might not have made. As a director, I would have gone more with the traditional, like straight, you know, the straight samurai, era depiction. Just simply because it to me, for the story you're trying to tell, it makes a little bit more sense. I'm a big Rurouni Kenshin fan, and if you've never actually, I mean, if you've seen Samurai X
Okay.
or
I see
Ninja
what it.
Scroll,
Now hold on. Now
yeah,
Ninja Scroll be having cyborgs in there sometime. Like I seen quite a few things in there in Ninja Scroll where, yeah, I got a laser eye beam and it got a laser eye beam. So I
no,
don't know if you want to use
it was
Ninja
all
Scroll.
Ninja Scroll was all ninja magic. So it was people with like,
Oh, that's how they
I
explain
have
it.
the
Ninja
hardest
back.
I have the hardest skin in the world, or the dude that controlled bees. You know, if you remember, he had like all the wasps that were living inside of him or whatever. It was like nature and ninja magic arts type stuff. Um, but
Can we just call that ninja magic here?
well, I was fine with the people with abilities, and until it got to the point where, you have these different characters, which, mind you, I liked because I actually liked that robot. What was his name? His name was Haruto, but the abbreviations on his mecha suit, whatever he was, whatever kind of robot he was, that his initial spelled HRT, as in hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had his own little arc. I think the problem is they don't explain where you get dropped into this story that feels like it was a mix of like several different ideas that ran out of time. So they kind of, like this should have been maybe like 20 episodes long and give us some world building, because that's the one thing they don't do. They just kind
Well,
of drop you in. It's almost like a music video, like you were talking about the music, which is done. The reason why it sounds so familiar is because it's by Flying Lotus.
yeah, that's it. Flying Lotuses. That's what I said. I said that's it's. You can hear this some of the same flow of it, where it has the hip hop, the jazz, as well as it just has a very spicy kick to it. Flying Lotus has done a whole composed composition of things. I'm telling you right now, they touch everything. They touch so much stuff. Go
Yeah,
ahead, Ken.
it kind of reminds me of people like New Job is, or even how the RZA does like his own thing. You that sort of melding of East meets West. And Negroes, we love that. We love our kung fu Eastern philosophy stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So going back to old kung fu theater, we got that Wu Tang in us.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Wu. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it's just
But
you're telling the story of Yasuke, and you get something. But the thing about it is, it's a nice introduction to people who have never really heard of this. This historical figure. But on the other hand, it's done in such a fantasy way, like you don't really get to know much about him. Is the problem? That's the only downside to this the entire movie series that I'll say is that you don't learn much about Yasuke himself. Like he was just a former slave that got taken in by Oda Nobunaga and was appointed into a samurai. And they kind of give Nobunaga this reimagined history, because that guy's himself. The history of Oda Nobunaga is like it's very I don't want to say controversial, but conflicted amongst historians, depending on what you read. At one point, he is maybe the greatest leader and man, the samurai in the history of Japan. He definitely changed the entire, changed the world in his way. But it's kind of like Che Guevara or some character like that, or a person like that, where it's divisive as to sometimes he's depicted as a demon. You know what I mean? Like some people hate him, and I think that
I agree on that. Now, okay, so looking at the history of Yusuke, they did actually give you pieces of his. They did give you in the first episode. That's why I'm covering the first episode right now. They did tell you. He actually told y'all. He actually told us his name. He actually went over his name with the people, and when he told that to them, which they actually did do that. This is why, like I said, like they actually go over his name. When he said his whole name, I'm not going to even try to butcher his name. But when he did say his name, and he said it very eloquently, two times to them, they were like, "I'm not going to repeat that. I'm not going to repeat that." The next coinage of a thing was that of the impression of he was showing boxing. So, what's going on? What's going on, info? He was showing boxing, which was something that a lot of Japanese have ever seen. that shows that he was around Europeans for a while. That he was doing boxing. But
Well, it
then he
wasn't
took a
just boxing. It was fighting, and there was a bit of like that Caribbean. Basically like he was
Caribbean.
fighting like the Caribbeans borrowed it and created like capoeira from it. But it's
Well,
actually a fighting art from Africa. Africans had a fighting art.
I get that. I get that. Um, but what he was showcasing was he was showcasing influential stuff that he's been into. What's going on, information, man? Shout out to you for that, man. Um, I would say about when he spoke about his village, which was very contrast. That I'm going to probably talk about later on. Uh, which he literally that was his main driving force. That he spoke on was everybody in the village protects the children. Which that kind of that threw off that showed the difference of how the Japanese samurai culture is versus that of his African background. Because he said there's no honor in fighting a child. Like there's no honor in that, dude. Like granted, the sister of the little brother, um, she was there. She could have defended her brother, but due to one, and this is the hint, that she was a woman and bound by honor code of a samurai, it was forbidden, or she probably would have been in trouble to interfere. Yusuke was like, hell with that. That's a child. That's a grown man. That shows definition of his character of where he comes from. Um, but he's like, you're not about to start striking a child with a full on sword. That kid didn't even have a weapon. That kid was just standing right there, not even talking. But that was just something that's very interesting when it comes to that. That was something I just thought I thought that was very interesting. Uh, Now I probably want to pinpoint towards um again, everybody's saying that this is the first time they're seeing black imagery in anime, and this is not true. I'm just trying to let y'all
No,
guys know. That's
no,
why I
we have
dropped.
we
That's
have
why.
a lot now. Now, granted, the problem with anime's history is that historically black characters in anime do tend towards the stereotype. I'll say that. I mean, but remember, you got Balrog, if you remember, which is almost a Mike Tyson
No,
knockoff.
that's my Tyson. No, that's my Tyson. Yep.
Yeah, but remember, they gave him like a lazy eye and big old lips. You know what I'm saying? But then there are other characters like I don't know if anybody's ever, if you've ever seen Tenjo Tenge about the two
Yeah, I've
guys
seen it.
who go to the
Bobby
school.
Morrow. Bobby Morrow, and he does capoeira, and it's Bob B. Morrow, Bob
Yeah,
Marley.
Bob. Yeah, Bob's a badass. You know,
Yeah,
Bob
see,
was probably the first. But when I really think about it, Bob was kind of the first anime black guy I stood up and respected.
wow.
Because before that, there were characters, but they were kind of like side characters, and again, a lot of times they were usually caricatures of, if anything, blacks that were popular. Like you have characters that were like Dennis Rodman knockoffs, because he was a popular guy, and so in their mindset, they thought it was homage, but it was. We know what it was. We accepted it. You know what I mean? It was better. Then you have Mr. Popo.
Hmm.
You know, and the less said about Mr. Popo, the better.
Now, here's the thing about it. That um, everybody says Mr. Popo is black. He's not a black person. He's actually a
No.
genie.
Yeah,
He's not
he's
a.
a gin.
But the thing, I get what you're saying about that.
But we
Now,
know that the character was designed in like the late 70s, early 80s, and that it's just the imagery coming from China of all places. Well, because Dragon Ball takes place is actually it's a Japanese manga, but it's based in like Chinese mythology, and
Mhm.
he clearly looks like like a Sambo.
Now the thing about it is, I mean, amongst other caricatures, and see, I mean, I get that, and I'm gonna defend that a little bit because uh, we all have our stereotypes of other cultures. We all have our stereotypes of other cultures and stuff. And Japan is a very closed community,
Oh yeah.
or a very closed country. So whatever they see on social media, that's what they see. So they see rappers and all type of stuff. That's what they see. The imagery of they see of black people with the lips, the nose, all the stuff. And I mean, I got to be honest. Listen, y'all may not like me saying this, but black people, yes, we do have defiant features on us: our nose, our lips, our mouths, our the way how we are. Um, they are very defiant. Our nostrils. So I know some people don't like hearing that, but it is what it is. This is some of these things that are looked at or frowned upon that some people feel bad about, or get their nose done and all that stuff. These are also gifts for in athletic prowess. Like for when you see most of your top athletes that are runners or in sports and stuff, because of their physiques, because of their physique and their muscle structure, that it kind of gives them a leg up. You don't have to believe me. Go look in the science. The nostrils, running, the way they're able to run, the leg, the diameter, how they set up. So we are built a certain type of way. Um, um, that's why when I bring up about that's why when I look at it, I get that, and I mean me and Kev can have a discussion about it. Does Japanese does Japanese anime respect black people? Um,
Now
I,
respect is different because I don't think, like you were saying, I don't think it's intentional disrespect.
but how is it disrespect? If it's how is it
No, no, I'm,
disrespect?
I'm I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying
Right.
I do not think that it is. I don't think that it's intentionally disrespectful
Uh-huh.
because, like you said, the Japanese islands are very homogenous. So the most Japanese people probably have never encountered as funny as it is to say, a real live black person. And
Right.
so that's why if you ever go to places, I mean, I grew up in Hawaii, and there's Asian communities, and there's still people that want to touch your hair because they've never seen anyone like you. You know what I mean? Like they even talk about that in the anime in Yasuke. Remember when Oda meets Yasuke and he names him Yasuke because he ain't pronouncing that name. He was like, "What is your name?" "Oh, I'm a Fulu Babumba and Bimbe
Don't
Naku."
do that. Don't butcher the man's name. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? See what the Samoan did to the brother man. God dang it. Yeah, but no, Yasuke said his name twice to Nobunaga in his court, and um, I thought it was okay to say the least, but all the other homies hated it. No, no, I loved it. I see. That's what I'm saying. Like this is why I'm trying to tell people. And thank you, Killer Red. Um, listen, if y'all don't, if we don't get behind our own imagery, then you can't get mad when they start making other animes, and then you ain't in it, or you just playing the same old comical comedic role where you're just a stupid guy, or you're just a sidekick, or you're just a dude in the background. Versus, you can be that guy that literally maybe you want the serious role. Look at Yorochi from Bleach. She's literally the head of the ninjas and literally in one of the top characters in Bleach. But
And
she's a
what
black.
about what's his name? Karue from Naruto. Karue,
Yeah,
he's one of the,
oh yeah, oh yeah. Go ahead, man.
and he's a badass ninja.
Yep. Shout out to Killer B. Killer B is one of the top ninjas. And so, like I said, like, listen, y'all, this is why I'm saying, like, this is why I'm going to be doing reviews and pushing hard on this area. This is why, if they were selling this, let's say it's in Google Play Store, for this, right? They were selling it. I would tell you if it costs $20 to buy it. Because if they're seeing that they're making a profit off of this, then they're going to do more of this. Y'all gotta understand when you need to financially back and push your imagery.
And
Understand?
if you want more
Mhm.
stories, I mean, if you want more stories about the, granted, like I said, like this series kind of took a different direction. So, but if you want somebody else to come at it from a different angle, I mean, we have 20 or we have tons of black struggle movies and 12 years a slave and 10 years a slave and 10 more years as a slave and all this bullshit. Well, we keep going back to our traumatic past, but we don't ever have characters that get re-examined from, you know, from history. Like, you know, we were talking about Oda Nobunaga. They've made so many different variations of him and approached him as a person historically in so many different ways, where sometimes he's depicted as a demon, sometimes he's depicted as, you know, the Jesus Christ of Japan or the George Washington. You know, he brought change. Well, if you want that, I get it. This may not have been exactly your cup of tea. Like for me, like me and Joe were talking about, I kind of would have preferred them to stick with the, you know, just stay within the historical confines of the, you know, the Edo era feudal Japan. But for what it was still good. Um, and you know, this is only the first season, so season two, maybe they
Right.
start really do exploring more of his background and explaining some things.
Exactly. Like no, like that's what I'm saying. Like it might be something where they might see a review like this with me and Kev talking about this, and they say, you know what? Let's have it. You know, just they say where they have it where Yusuke gets sick or he gets a concussion, and he goes through a homage of why how he got to. You get what I'm saying? Like that's what Kev is talking about. They might just say, you know what? Let's go more into depth with Yusuke. And while he's unconscious or while he's asleep, or maybe they might have it like, you know, like they did it with Samurai Supreme with Gene. You know, I mean, as as, as they started moving further, um, they started showing him at the dojo how he just kept getting better and better and better, even to the point where the master, the sensei, knew, okay, he's already surpassed me. All I can do is show him the last move, and that's it. They didn't show that
Yeah,
until like later on, until people saying like, how did he get to where he got to? That and when they took Mugen, we went to Mugen's whole island because people were asking the question. So um, when it comes to this, listen, like I enjoy the critique. Like I'm going to do. It's only a 6 episode review. I'm only watching the first. I only watched the first one. I'm going to savor and enjoy it. Um, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to pick it apart and look at other stuff. What's going on? Let's see. But I also encourage people, um, men and women, like like if y'all want to see more of our imagery, you got to watch it. You got to support it. Like that's how Castlevania. Castlevania was technically only going to just be one season. That's why they killed Dracula the first season. But they didn't think, and Ken will tell you, like, they didn't think, oh snap, these people are they it jumped up to number one. That was supposed to just be a one hitter. That thing jumped up to number one. They were like, yo, like, we gotta keep it going. I don't know how, but we gotta keep it going. And don't give me that. Well, it's not following the video game. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they ain't following the video games like that. They are not following the video game. They are not following the video game Castlevania. But that's fine. That's the beauty of when you're doing an anime. You can go anywhere you want. It's your story. And that's why sometimes it's a little bit tricky when it comes to anime and video games comparisons and then movies. They're like, whew, good luck. Because you might have a certain budget for a anime. But then the budget for doing CGI, and then you got to go get the composition team, and then what you have for gaming and everything. That's a little bit different. Go ahead, Kev.
And I hear you. I was reading Killer Red. He was saying, yeah, this series is loosely based on the history. Given that we don't know a lot about Yasuke, I mean, collectively, there's a lot of different pieces of it from history. Like the movie shows us afterwards, but we don't know what happened to him technically after Nobunaga's fall. He just sort of disappears. Was he killed with the other samurai? Which was highly likely because samurai, that their honor code. There's no surrender, no retreat. When your master, your shogun falls, you go down with him. If in fact, in many cases, it was dishonorable to be alive after he's dead. So you better be if your shogun's dead, you better be dead before him. you know. But and I know they have robots and werewolves and things, but what I can say about that is I think that's a depiction or was an attempt to depict other cultures as seen through the prism of the Japanese eyes. I mean, it, a giant badass werewolf woman kind of fits in the mythology of what the Japanese would, in the 17th century would have viewed, a Russian. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know where the robots come from. That's a whole different thing. That's a whole different. But and then you got people with superpowers. I think the other thing people that I've seen some complaints on is that Yasuke isn't he's a badass, but he's not a walking, indestructible, unkillable, untouchable machine. I mean, he gives and he gets. Like he fights and he loses sometimes, but it's the idea that that's not this story. This story isn't him. Yasuke was the baddest ass samurai. That's you're thinking of of Afro Samurai. If you want something like that, that is not this story. Now, the other thing is that the story Yasuke is almost a secondary character, in place of of the young girl, who he's tasked, with protecting, which is basically the crux of the whole series. She has special abilities. And he's returning to honor after his fall, so to speak. And if you pay attention, the story is a journey, is like a redemption journey. For a man who gained everything through freedom and lost it all inside that self same freedom, because being set free doesn't necessarily free you of your conscience. It doesn't free you of your guilt. It doesn't free you of your past. It doesn't free you from your mind or ideology. He was with Nobunaga to change Japan into this new world, this new free world where Japan would be open to new ideas and put the past. And they repeat this mantra throughout the entire series, that the past, there's this conflict between moving forward with the future and protecting the traditions of the past. And even now in our real world, I mean, it's a commentary on modern day, because even now we're at a crossroads culturally where some of us believe there are the old ways that we should, sort of conservative ideas, and then there are those who say you got to be more open-minded and you got to change, like, in order for us to progress as a society, as a people, as a culture, as a human race. We have to learn to be open and progress to new things. So there's sort of a overarching explanation, or exploration, I should say, of that theme of new meets old, and old and new having to find a middle ground, because his old, he comes up against people in his early days where they're challenging him because he's challenging the traditions of the past and the old ways, But by the end of the series, you realize he's the one holding on to the old ways, and he has to change. He has to let go of those to allow for there's a new future trying to be born there, and he's standing in the way because he's the one holding on to the past. What he accused others of doing, he himself had allowed himself to become that, where he was
Kev,
holding
is
on.
that all in episode one?
Huh?
Is that all in episode one?
Most of it starts in episode one.
Okay. No, I'm okay.
Because
So you're talking about
if you're, yeah, you're still in episode. We're still in episode one, but in
right.
episode one, if you realize there's that other retainer or whatnot that mentions um the the old ways. Because remember when they go, I think it's in episode one still, where after he helps the person in Nobunaga learns his name. There's a scene where again these people had never seen a black man before. Really, most of them had never seen one. So what does he do? He tells him, "Hey, since you did this good thing, I'm going to honor you. We can't have this man who, this honorable man walking around all dirty. You guys wash him clean." And then they're washing him, and they're like, wash him better. He's still dirty. And it's like, no, 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 sir. That's he doesn't seem to be coming clean. It looks like it's his skin. His skin is just, black. Like they thought his blackness would wash off.
Well, we've seen commercials like that where they take a black dude and put him in the washing machine.
Oh,
And machine. So we definitely understand that the 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 skin thing that's a pretty negative trope thing with Asians and blacks, how they see our skin, especially when it comes to dirt.
well,
They
no,
sometimes
I don't mean to say it like that. No, I mean that's historical. I mean that's historically happened before. I mean Native Americans when they first encountered black slaves or black people that were brought over as slaves, the Native Americans thought the same thing. Like, well, maybe that's some sort of like but you have to frame it, understand it as they had never in their life seen someone that looked like us. Just the concept of a dark brown black human being was foreign to them. I mean, they already seen the white ones.
But I want to push that the notion that he's second to like the girl. Like I don't think that he's second to the girl because the girl, she's just the initiative primer, like any anime trope. That's like saying the priestess in Samurai 7, Kanbei would be second to her. Like, and we know what the hell can a priestess do? She can't do nothing. Like Kimina, she can't do nothing. Only thing she can do is touch a rock and point it at people and it lights up. Okay, he's a samurai. Okay, that one's a samurai. Like I get like they've always had the mysticism of they might be a little girl, little boy, a dog, somebody that needs protection. Yeah, and I get that. Now, as far as I'll go for a samurai, if a samurai's master dies, does that mean that they always technically have to die with their master? No, that's not true. They don't have to die with their master. Because then that would be the name what we would call a ronin. A ronin, keyword Haroni Kenshin. Literally in that case, Kenshin needs to go cut his head off. Like
Oh no. Kenshin Roroni. There's a difference. Kenshin is a Roroni. Roroni and Ronin are two different things. Ronin is a masterless samurai. Roroni is a samurai that has decided to turn away from that. Basically, a retired samurai.
Now the thing about it is, well, technically, Kenshin's supposed to have killed his master. Technically, by default, he's supposed to kill his master. That's how you inherit the style. But Kenshin's like, "No, I'm not going to kill you." Like his master said, "I killed my master. Why aren't you going to kill me?" Like that's how you. There can only be one person in that timeline with that style. It's like the
yeah.
Thinking like there can only be one master. There can't be two masters walking around. There got to be one master. So the first master has to rest the other master to show I surpassed you. If not that, then the other masters are going to beat you. And now you're not ready. Come back after you finish hitting some kind of convergency. So I'm going to think that now, as far as movie, You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take it too long, but I would want to say I don't have a problem with loss. I think loss for a character is good because it shows growth. It shows stuff. Batman loses, Superman loses, different heroes lose. Goku has lost so many times. I don't even know why people call him the greatest hero because this dude's always dying. So he can't be that good if he's always dying. I mean, it just means that hey, that's why Goku is very profound, or Superman and them, because they never give up. A hero losing, that would be like the Avengers losing to Thanos. They met somebody greater. Um, and that's just something as a samurai. There's nothing wrong. Everybody believes that when a samurai gets in a fight, that they don't retreat. No, not true. I mean, shout out if you ever played what's the latest samurai game? Um, the
Oh,
latest samurai game,
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. There are some times they will tell you, they will hint to you in the game as you're playing. It's not about it. If you're not the right level or you don't have the experience to take on the threat, it doesn't hurt to withdraw. Like say, you know what? I'm gonna go because y'all got the smoke. I don't. Like y'all got it. I don't
Yeah.
have that smoke. So
Although that a big part of that game is the decisions to, like, the again, the tradition versus the modern
yeah,
the modern idea of, hey, you need to walk into that village and challenge
head
those guys
on.
openly. I'm coming
Right.
to fight you. We are going to fight now. I am right here. Versus,
Even though
I'm
that the archers
outnumbered
have
20
the
to
high
1.
ground, the archers have the high ground, even though they can see you walking through a field openly, even though doggone they're gonna come out 8 deep out of the doggone thing.
Yeah.
But if you could just go through some other entrance through the sewer, jump over a tree, go through the graveyard, like
Yeah,
yeah,
stabbing. You sneak in and you're stabbing dudes in
you
the
know what I'm
back.
saying? Yeah, and see, that's also and I you brought up a good point about that, Kev, that you're going to see a confliction of character with Yusuke. Shout out to my AKA, one of the goats for samurai culture, Samurai Jack.
Oh yeah.
Um, if y'all watched it all the way to the last season, Jack was definitely doing so after so many years. Well, I think he's been there for over hundreds of years. That's how long Jack has been there. And he's like, I can't get old. I'm not aging anymore. And he's like, you started seeing Jack use different weapons. Heck, you started seeing Jack use what? Guns. I
Yeah.
was like, what? This dude got guns, got different gear on, um, motorcycle and everything. Granted, he had the samurai stuff, you know what I'm saying? But Jack was arsenal down.
Well,
And they were
because
like,
at some point Jack realized being that the samurai way wasn't about the fighting style or the weapons, it was about the mentality.
right, right. So we're definitely going to see that with Yusuke as it goes on. I definitely look further. I look forward towards that. I know Kev is probably at the bit to want to go further, but we're going to take our time and try to milk out as many episodes as we can. I mean, there's 6 episodes, so we're going to push out all 6 episodes. We're going to do piece by piece. We're also going to do a trope, because we're also seeing it where it's showing a black man as a protector. That's a pretty good. I cannot understand why as much men like talking about fatherhood, they wouldn't want to talk about a man that literally his main mantra, as Kev will even tell you, is about protecting children and protecting those who cannot protect themselves. That is literally his biggest article above the samurai code of Bushido is protecting people. That's
Well, that
literally
is the code. That's
that
the
is his code.
samurai code. Like, if you remember in Ghost of Tsushima, it's the same way. The whole point is the reason why that character in the game starts employing those sorts of, before he's even reluctant. He's like, a samurai does not go and cut people's throats and and shoot them with arrows in the back when they're not looking. This is not our way. And the lady, that badass chick with the bow that was helping, that teaches you, is like, do you want to be honorable, or do you want to win? Do you want to save lives, or do you want the Mongols to murder you in the street, because that's what they're going to end up doing?
Right.
you
And
know,
right. No, that's so true. And then, mind you, she was also samurai. She was also, I forgot, Lady something.
Lady
She was one of
Adachi.
the,
That's
yeah,
what it was.
right.
Yeah, Lady Adachi.
And she tells you, they said, listen, sometimes as a samurai, you got to break the rule. Like, you walking up and they're holding people hostage, you don't always have that affordability. You walk up there and they say, yo, if we see anybody coming up on us with a sword, we're killing these people. So you have
her
to wear this.
her attitude was like that because her husband was killed, but she had all those women to protect. And women warriors, women samurai, as much as they could be skilled, sometimes still weren't a match for a man. So to even the odds, you had to use different tactics to be a
Right,
successful woman. If you want to defend your home as a woman, you ain't gonna go out there and brute force with dudes. You had to use other methods. But remember, even the other guy, the bow archer that teaches you the bow, he was appalled at your. I remember doing one of the missions with him, and he was like, "This is not the way. This is not the way that we are taught." And he's like, "Yeah, well, this is the way we win, basically. Guerrilla
right,
warfare." He's like,
right. Y'all, right. Your way was so profound. Why did y'all lose? Why did y'all lose the whole island? Shut it up. I got to do one. I got to do a job by myself and take on a whole army, piece by piece. I'm sorry, I'm not playing fair. The Mongols been them figured it out. Yeah, see, they even said it straight up. The weakness toward the samurai is their honor.
yeah,
That is what.
Kubla did, and he pointed it out because they saw what happened, and he witnessed it. The other one, the other samurai going down there, and it was like going to be like the send out your strongest man. Are you the? Let's do combat. I'm here to. My name is Lord such and such, and dude just set him on fire and cut his head off. Like, I'm not even trying to let you finish your introduction and all that bullshit.
He said I did that to him. I was like, yeah, you're stupid. Well, that was the best guy.
It
We can't
reminds me
win.
of it reminds me of Indiana Jones. How they, that I always love that about Indiana Jones, when the dude, the Taliban fighter with the samurais,
So,
or the supercars, and he's swinging his swords and doing all that badass. And Indy's not even paying attention. He's like, "What the hell's going on back here?" And he turns around, just casually pulls out his gun, shoots the guy, and then goes back to looking for Marion.
right.
Like it was
And
like,
everybody was like, wow, Indy, did you just, hey, no.
yeah,
No,
like he's like, I ain't got time for all that bullshit. I got things to do.
no. Listen, and that, you gotta understand, we think smart. That was Indiana Jones' main trope. No matter how old he was getting older, but he was getting smarter on how he was doing things. Like, he was like, no, I'm not doing all that. I'm just not. I'm not fighting that guy straightforward. No, we're gonna fix that. So
Well,
definitely, you got
you'll see it as you get, like you said, we're taking it slow. I've already watched this series twice now for
mhm.
Yasuke, because it's only 6 episodes, 6 30-minute episodes. That's really like two. It's almost like a movie, because if you really add it up, that's like 2.5, maybe 3 hours. At the same time that you could watch the Avengers movie Endgame is the same time you could watch this whole series.
I will most likely. I'm going to get it done before Castlevania, but I know that's going to be chomping at the bit for me and Kev. It's Castlevania, so um, I know that's something that we're going to have that on the benchmark. Um, so
This
that's
is the final season of Castlevania. This will be the final season.
I will be there. Now it's interesting that they're not doing that, because usually they used to annually do Castlevania season on Halloween. But due to the crisis that happened and so many people and so many things were happening, I understand why they didn't want nobody in the studios for safety. They're like, listen, this is good. This is one of our biggest money makers. but we can't afford to lose a whole studio, to this. Like we can't afford that.
Well,
I
it's the
would
same. It's the same animation studio.
right,
So what I'm really secretly hoping is that since they're ending Castlevania, it's so they can focus on creating more seasons of Yasuke. And
I would think so. Right, right,
and if with the popularity of this, and this is why I still think people should check it out because even if it's even if you setting aside the arguments about how historically accurate or not accurate or too much fantasy versus not enough real world, we want to learn more. Well, you know what? That's fine, but we should support it because it's still a top-notch anime with great casting, great voice acting. I mean, a lot of the voice actors are people that you'd recognize. They got a great cast. There,
right.
it's it's visually impressive, and so and I'm hoping that what this does is start exploring other people from different histories. There's so many more black historical characters. All these hoteps that run around. I'm not going to go too far off on the
Just
deep end
hold
on
off from that. Hold off from that, Kev. I get what you're about to get, but we're just asking you guys. Listen, y'all. If you want to see more of this, of what you just saw, you want to see more, we gotta support it. If they're selling, like I purchased the Castlevania season, you know what I'm saying? They take a lot of these things into account when they're seeing the sales, when they're seeing the stuff go out there. You know what I'm saying? Like Kevin, I will tell you, like that's how they know when they're seeing the funding and the stuff and their watch time and all that stuff go up for these kind of things. They do more. They're going to do more because they're like, oh, they like this. I mean, shout out to Black Panther. They could have done the final scene, the final battle anywhere. But however, it was one of the most gross movies. Did any other movie beat Black Panther? Um, uh, I mean, Endgame did, but aside from that, they at first they tried to say Winter Soldier. I mean, Captain America, Winter Soldier beat it. It didn't. They found that was a lie. They found out it was a lie. They But the crazy thing about it, and this is something that I want you to understand, is Chadwick Boseman and the cast of the Black Panther were the least paid actors in the Marvel series. They were the least paid. So you want to you want to support these people so that way they get better pay. Better pay means better roles. Better roles means they're going to want to do more. It encourage other people that they naturally don't get in these type of roles to be in these roles, so that way, you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep saying, I mean, Idris Elba, he went over to DC, so y'all might as well get that out your mind with Marvel. That Idris Elba's gonna do a Marvel. He went over to DC. He's like, yo, I'm going to the dark side. Like, yes, Marvel is for children. DC is for adults. You can't argue with me on that one. I'm sorry. It's already proven. Marvel is for the kids. Like, if you want to go watch something with the kids, go to Marvel. But if you want to go watch somebody do some disgusting stuff, you want to go. Snyder's like, yo, I'm back in the saddle, baby. I'm back in the saddle, and I ain't doing no kiddie stuff where you get a happy ending. Nah, bump that. I'm showing y'all some dark stuff. We're gonna just give y'all the good stuff. Put the kids to bed. So that's what I want. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I would. That's one thing I think probably needs to be said. If you're thinking I'll introduce my child or my children to this historical character via this anime, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't.
So
This is maybe if they're like 14, 15, maybe, but little kids 9, 8, 9 or below, this is not the historical Yasuke introduction that you should give them because it is I mean it depends on maturity, but the violence and gore is definitely, and nudity is not, it's not a family friendly type thing. If you for something like that, hopefully like someday we'll get some. Now they are making an actual live action movie. It was going to star Chadwick Boseman, but I'm assuming now they're going to grab someone else to do it. I honestly don't know why Lakeith himself can't do it. I mean, the voice actor for for uh for Yasuke the animated series, he's actually a pretty decent actor himself.
No, I
Um,
agree. Like I said, this is when it comes down to Kev, like you got to financially support them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like if we financially back them, they'll want to do more. They'll want to do more. It entice them like, hey, like the key, like, dude, they like your voice. They
I mean,
like
'cause
they
he's
like
just coming off of what was that? Judas and the Black Messiah. He almost did. I think that I don't know if he got nominated for an Oscar for that. I know the movie did, but I remember him from. Have you seen Knives Out? It's one of my favorite movies from like 2 years ago. But if you haven't seen that, or if you watch Atlanta, the TV show, the TV series Atlanta, he plays Darius.
yep. And like I said, like and everybody just look like we can do more than just comedy. We like we're y'all we keep saying that we want to see um more of us other than just being jokey or in all these blackity black on black. So listen, bro, I want to see us in space. I want to see us fight ninjas. I want to see us do all the stuff. Like, listen, bro, I'm not gonna keep on
Well,
doing this.
my feelings on it. Like I said, we've talked about this in other streams. I have said before, I'm waiting for Tyler Perry to use all that $1 billion he got in that whole studio he got now to himself. I want to see a Lord of the Rings with black characters. If he needs me to write a fantasy Tolkien-esque Lord of the Rings high fantasy movie for him, I'll get to work, Tyler. You just reach out to me, bro. Get your people to contact me. We get some black elves. We'll get some, and not just drow. We'll have some orcs. We can. I just want a movie where black people are doing things where the fact that we're black is not important. You see what I
See,
mean?
again, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Kev. But again, we don't support that type of energy as we should. You follow me?
Exactly.
So if the money is not there for that, then you know what I'm saying? Like, no offense, like a lot of the Marvel movies were done. A lot of the Marvel movies were done at Tyler Perry's studio. Bet you a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't know that. A lot of the Marvel movies were done at his studio, and he. So it's not like
Using his sound stages. But
yeah.
I
So
mean, I'm just saying that we gotta, like you said, we have to support stuff so that we could get more things, but not just support it because of the iconography. I mean, I get that everybody ran out and saw Black Panther because Wakanda Forever, and it showed black people doing like but traditionally like in classic black regalia and this and that. But you know what? You can also go and support things like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, he is Captain America. He was Captain America in the comic books. That new suit is dope. I already pre-ordered the action figure because that $300 Hot Toys action figure, because that's gonna be a collectible anyway. Plus, it's super dope. But I mean, you gotta. What I love about Sam is he doesn't walk around all day that I'm, I'm the new Captain America. Also, slavery was tough. You know what I mean? Like, no, he was just a soldier who believes in doing the right thing,
right, like
and
so.
that's what defines it.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing about it. Like when it comes to these kind of things, guys, you know what I'm saying? Please do support. I'm going. I'm going more harder into black gaming. Into video gaming. I'm getting more into video gaming. And anime and cartoons and comics. Like I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm
What you should check out is Prototype 2. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I've seen. I know Prototype too. I played that.
Yeah, Prototype 2. That was a brother. That was most people don't
I
realize.
didn't like him. I did not like him. I didn't like him. I did not like. He just had. It's like he gave the vibe like he was just trying to sell it too harshly. Like he was. I didn't like him.
Yeah.
Like I don't. Like, I want y'all to understand. Just because it's black, don't mean I'm going to go buy. I want y'all to understand. Just because it's a black person, I don't want y'all to think. I'm just letting y'all know right now. Y'all going to be hurt. Y'all are going to be hurt with BMT. Oh, well, it's black. Why aren't you supporting that? No, no, don't do that. Y'all are going to be hurt with me. Don't think because there's somebody black, I'm going to support it. Like, I do like seeing my imagery, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to just go watch or get into something because of that. You know what I'm saying? Listen.
So you're not gonna go see the Ironheart the series. You're not gonna go subscribe to Disney Plus to see
Oh Lord,
Black Girl Excellence as Iron Man.
no, don't do that. Like because honestly, I was looking at the Ironheart comic long before there was a series, and I'm sorry, she's trash to me. She's trash.
Yeah,
She's trash.
that was tokenism at its highest form. Speaking of which,
That is so high
Bro Speak
tokenism.
was asking if anybody's seen Invincible. Yes, that is a great series on
Yeah,
Prime.
that was a comic way long time ago. Like a lot of us knew about that before that was even a show.
Yeah, well, because it's by the same guy who Robert Kirkman who did The Walking Dead, but the anime series is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. And we can cover that if y'all wanted to. Just let us know. We'll cover that. Like I said, but don't think because we see black, then we automatically just jump on it or some stuff. Like no, we don't do that. No, we're actual nerds here. Do not disrespect us. Like I said, when people like this is on imagery, I'm like, what are you talking about? We have fun. Stop it.
Now, granted, we will cover some things that do deserve being highlighted. Like, I would like to go back and you get you a copy because I got my DVD copy, but get you a copy of Mantis the TV series and do a review on that.
All right.
Because I don't think people remember. I don't think people remember that superhero TV show that was excellent.
See, we can do all that and cover those things, y'all. Like I said, I'm going in the comics, gaming, anime. Like I gotta go. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff. Like I said, I have a lot of things. Like I have to get ready for the Resident Evil thing. When I also do my gaming commentary, I know me and Kev know how to do it now, to where we can do the parties and do the commentary of the gaming and stuff. And we talk about stuff. That game, Returnal, is HP Lovecraft baby. That's what we're playing. That is honestly what that game is. That is HP Lovecraft baby.
That game is hot, boy.
That game is dark as hell.
But that game people are fighting in the streets over that game right now because they mad at it. Like half the people. Have you seen? It's gotten it's getting review bombed to hell over on Metacritic because people didn't they don't like it. One, the difficulty. It's not the fact that it's a roguelike so it's going to be hard and you're going to be doing runs with no like start over basically and you just gather stuff to make you stronger each time. But the problem that people are having is those runs are like 3 or 4 hours to go through a run through one of those dungeon sections through the acts.
That's good.
But there's no save point or
I love it.
No. I mean, for no, not for the concept of like, well, it's do or die permadeath, but from the concept that you can be playing for 2 or 3 hours, and then you get a phone call, or you got to go do something. Oh shit, I got to go to work. Well, there's no save.
You better go hide yourself or put it on reset. Put it on rest.
Man, I'm too old. Look, we progressed in society. We left that shit back in the 80s where you put the game on pause and turn the TV off and then go to school all day and hope that there ain't no power outage.
Nah, son. This is life. That's Selena. She's a live
Bro, you
human
were
being.
playing that game on a $600 console. You ain't.
You better go get a PlayStation fan, my friend. You better go get. You better go buy Sony fan. Listen,
I'm not
they
trying to
keep.
leave it. It's not just that. These things burn. Those cores burn at like 1100 centigrade. I ain't trying to burn my damn house down because I left the game running and the PlayStation that caught fire while I was at work. Now I lost everything I own because I wanted to save my progress
That game is
in Returnal.
seriously.
Returnal ain't worth that. Put a damn save option in the
Y'all,
game.
you see how evil that game is. That it makes people make those type of choices. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
put
told you,
a
this
save
game was made
put
by
a
bad
save
people.
option in the game. Let people be able to say
No,
like, you look,
no,
I'm ready to stop for the night. Let me stop this game.
no,
Also accessibility options. In this day and age, there's no excuse for not having accessibility options for people that are disabled,
no.
for people that
What?
have, you know, for they have
No,
different
no, Sam.
gaming.
Everybody's not equal. I don't want to hear that. One of the top Street
No,
Fighter players. He
no,
doesn't have no
we
arm.
live in a modern time. You need to let
No,
left-handed people have left-handed game controls. You need to let people that are deaf be able to read the
no,
screen.
no. I don't want to hear that. No, I'm
No,
sorry.
let's go,
I
bro.
was, I was
You
playing,
can't just
I was playing,
alienate.
I was playing Contra as a young boy. They were very unforgiving about me and my woes and needs. You know what I'm saying? They didn't care about me
Contra
being.
didn't have, bro. Contra did not have no. There's no dialogue. You didn't need to read to. If you're deaf, how you gonna follow the story if you can't read it? They're cutting out a whole group of people from the game. Contra, not only that, but you had a code at least in Contra where you could add up 99 lives.
So, so like I said, that's just the world of the game. You just gotta suffer it out. I'm sorry, like return very unforgiving. Actually, I just did my last speed. I beat a boss. I was so proud of myself. Cam, you've been so proud of me. I beat a boss. It was the Angel of Death. Y'all can go watch it. I actually, like I said, time went on. I started learning stuff. I started learning stuff and learning how to do certain things. So I definitely would tell you guys, definitely a staple game to play. It actually,
Mm-mm.
no,
I
yeah.
disagree. I'm not buying no game that will not let me go poo poo.
If I have
If
to
I
fire,
got to,
if we have to fire Returnal and have a commentary over it, I'm about to do that right now. I'm doing my
I'm gonna
5 minutes.
let you do the plan. I ain't buying that game because if I gotta go boo boo, I'm gonna get up and go boo boo.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire up a live for Returnal, and we can definitely we'll title it "Is the game fair for casual players?" So we'll definitely do that.
Not casual, just people that want to get up and take it. For people that don't want to piss on themselves because they can't pause the game.
Go find yourself a corner and put her in there, and just hope to God you killed everything in that room. So wait, oh God, I thought about this. Hope to God you killed everything in that room. Like,
We ain't making money like that on no podcast yet that I can just quit my job and tell my boss I ain't coming in tonight because I can't pause the damn game.
so let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and do that. I'll see you guys later. I'm BMT. Join with my co-host Clever Kev. You can also catch him. He does podcasting. Very good podcaster. I think we're supposed to be coming out with Saturday morning serial. Um, like I said, I think us nerds, we're going to be going to full effect. Y'all can do whatever talks y'all want to do. I
Yeah,
welcome y'all to do that.
I'm working on. Should have up sometime. I posted my first new review because I had to redo my channel, so I only got now. I put my the New Mutants because a lot of people missed that. A lot of people slept on or missed the New Mutants movie, and it's on HBO Max. So I don't know why people didn't see it, but I think people had to. That's in the Marvel universe. It's the last X-Men movie they made before Fox got bought and it all went back to Marvel. And it actually it wasn't really that bad, but my review's up on my channel. I'm working on a review of the Mitchells versus the Machines.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then also one of an older movie from the 80s. Cause I like to do some stuff, retro stuff too, called Blue Steel with Jamie Lee Curtis. It was Catherine Bigelow's first film. You know, the woman who got the Oscar for doing the Hurt Locker. She made a
Right.
movie about a police woman being stalked by a serial killer, and it is. I call my description of the movie as a short summary is Blue Steel is a psychological cop thriller with the world's worst police department detectives.
Mm,
Like
mm.
like for like procedurals, because I'm watching this and I'm pretty damn sure simple things like maybe not full DNA, but things at the crime scene, powder burns, bullets, casings. There was forensic evidence going back in the 80s, so I don't know why all of a sudden people don't know how to get no fingerprints. Why, you know what I mean? Like, but
That's safe for CSI, sir. That's safe for CSI.
they,
So
they this dude, I was like, it
I
couldn't have been
have
this
to get
easy
the
to go
next story
around.
ready. Bring it up on the next show. I'm gonna get the
Yeah,
next show ready. When Kev gets in his nerd rant, I have to stop him and pull him out of it. I have to give him a break on it. And stop him. He gets his nerve. All right, guys. We're gonna be doing our commentary while playing Returno. I know I'm gonna hear Kev and his gripes about what the woes of the children and people, but I'm all here for it. I will defend this game until I die. I will
Mm-mm.
defend it.
This is
I,
not. We're gonna be like Cisco and Ebert on this one. It is
yeah,
not. Save your money. There's stuff
yeah,
coming for the PlayStation. Get your
no,
Go out, take
yeah,
your family to
no,
dinner, get a pizza. The
no.
restaurants are open
Best,
now. The pandemic is over.
best thing I bought. Best PS5 game, bar
It's the
none.
only PS5 game.
Yeah, it is the only one. Well, guess what? Then hey, then I guess I don't know what to tell y'all because that's the best one. If there's one on going this is their direction. I mean, they need this. They needed it. They needed it. I'm sorry. Like I said, we're gonna get on Returnal. I'm gonna get on Returnal. We're gonna fire it up. I know Kevin's gonna fight tooth and nail. He's gonna. So we're gonna have our class discussion on is Returnal worth the buy? Is it worth it? So just join us for that. All right, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. We'll be doing the next. I think we could do the next review. What and tomorrow or when do you want to do the next review? We'll actually one message and set it up.
Yeah,
But yeah,
tomorrow's fine. Don't forget. I mean, I've seen it twice now, so I watched it through and then I
so it's
watched it a
refreshing
second.
for me. It's refreshing for me because I haven't seen it. So y'all understand how hard the critique of the name of Kev is. How like literally he is a very hard critiquer. See, I wish nobody who drops a film to have him give you a thumb up because literally he's going to pull apart your movie. I probably would like give it a shot. I say, hey, him, he's going to be like, that's not what a wizard would do. And I'll be, oh God, let this guy live, let this man live. So,
Yeah, you need to
all right, guys.
make sure that your matte paintings are on point. Because if I see the jagged lines from where the matte painting meets the real cinematography, we gonna have words.
Uh.
Don't let me see the
Like,
matte lines. It's 2000. It's 2021. Don't let me see the matte lines.
only thing I was a little bit hurt was I did not see any black elves in Lord of the Rings. I just didn't see no black elves. I was a little bit hurt about that.
Yep.
I was a little bit hurt. I was like, there ain't no damn black elves. Damn, we didn't make it. But the eagle made it. Of all things, the eagle made it, but we didn't make it. Ain't that something?
just like or dwarves. You didn't see any black skinned dwarves. Now I think about it, I don't think you saw any black skinned people. I'm trying to
All
think
right.
back to Lord of the Rings. Just a black dude walking around one of the regular towns, like a village folk, just a regular old man, just getting water from the well or cooking dinner. Just some poor guy working his fields in the farm. You know,
Doggone Jr. Did not think that far ahead. Like, what is that? That really, so that would be a whole show right there. The first black elf or dwarf. Like, the struggles he would go through. Oh God, that's a whole podcast by itself. That's a whole podcast by itself. The struggle that dwarf will go through. Oh man.
Yeah.
So, other than that, you guys, we're gonna get on Returnal. I gotta go defend my baby from Kev and all the woes that he's gonna complain about. You can't appease these nerds. You really can't. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my best. All right, I'll see you guys later. I am BMT, and this is with Clever Kev. See you guys later. Peace.